Hi, and welcome to episode 1, an introduction. This is the first episode in the series where we'll be documenting the construction of our brand new 009 gauge layout. Now before you can see the final plan for what the layout should look like. Now as you modelers probably know, what you plan doesn't always end up happening, at least not 100%. So the final layout might not look exactly like this, but this is the gist of it. Even so, this design has gone through a number of stages, and even just before making this video, I made a couple of changes. Now, this video will just be to discuss what's in the layout, so you can see now what's not in them that we could be adding, and just a bit of a breakdown. So we're going to start off by going into a bit of detail on the green section, which is the station section. So this is the station section of the layout. Now the green on the background is not representative of anything specific, it's just to show the segregation between the two sections. Now the red section is the platform area. I was initially going to use Metcalfe's station platform paper model, but I've realised that this will probably be too high for a 009 gauge layout, so it'll now just be paper paving slabs. The two blue rectangles above the red platform is a platform canopy, also from Metcalfe. We've got one for now, and we might get another in the future, but we're just going to keep hanging on to one for now until we start construction. The other blue rectangle there is another Metcalfe model, and it's the station shelter that will be acting as the ticket office. The final blue shape on there was the free Metcalfe model that came with the railway modeler a little while ago. We're going to use that as the station master's house. The rest of the green area at the top of the layout will be a little bit of a residential watch area. So there'll be a little bit of tarmac, a little bit of paving slabs and some fencing so people could see the railway, but they can't get onto it. The rest of the scenery area will probably be mostly grass, maybe a viewing area on the far right, just beyond where the runaround loop is. But this section, the main focus of it is the station. So this is the yard section. This part is much more exciting. So the big blue rectangle on the left will be the engine shed, and it's Metcalfe's engine shed. Now the model from Metcalfe is a lot bigger than what's on the layout and the screen in front of you, because what's going to happen is we're going to make the model and then we're going to cut it off at the point that we deem necessary. So you will actually be able to see in the front and the back of the shed, and the idea is that if this is extended in the future, the rest of the shed will get put back on to the next section and complete it. But unfortunately, because of the small size of this layout, this is our limitation for now. The other blue rectangle on the right will be the small signal box from Metcalfe, and I thought it was very appropriate for this, and the small signal box also looks very much to scale, not just for 00 but for 009. Now, obviously the top part into the engine shed is the main storage yard. The other part below it is another run-round loop. Because this is such a small layout, we have to have two run-round loops in such small proximity. If the layout is expanded, although the run-round loop will stay, it will probably become more of a storage device than an actual run-round loop. Now this section will only have a small vegetation section. The rest of it, especially around the engine shed, will have a lot more of a tarmac, concrete, hard ground section, and the track will be covered a lot more, and you'll only sort of just be able to see the rails so that it looks like a proper yard. Now the technique I'm going to use to make this sort of concrete is going to be, well, should be, because this is a bit of a test, a combination of PVA glue, black paint and N-gauge ballast. We've not tried it yet. This is just an idea, but I would rather try this than do modelling clay, but we'll see how it turns out. So it should be quite interesting. Now I'm going to have a little bit of a talk about some of the track we're using and also some of the rolling stock. So the track we're going to be using is all going to be 009 gauge track from PECO, because this will be the best quality track. What you can see in front of you is all points or flexi track. As set track, it's just too expensive and wouldn't be worth it. So there's going to be a lot of cutting and bending and shaping to get the right lengths of set track, and also pinning it down so that the set track doesn't move around. We might get some rolling stock from PECO as well, but most of our rolling stock will come from Bachmann. They have the highest quality stuff. I'm looking to get some of their brand new tin cars, because those look amazing quality, as well as their Slate wagons. And for the beginning of this, after the layout's been constructed and starts being run, that will probably stay like that. Obviously some locomotives, mainly Bachmann's new Baguley-Drewry diesel. But in terms of getting a variety of rolling stock, a variety of locomotives, that will have to wait a little while. A lot of the models are going to be Metcalfe, because their models are so easy to put together but so detailed, and they're just wonderful little models. I've put some together already and they look excellent, and I can't wait to put this model together. In terms of when the construction of this model is going to start, the answer is hopefully soon. The next video will be a walkthrough of the construction of the baseboard. We've already had a look at the wood that we're going to use, and we're in the process of just making sure that we have everything before we buy it and start putting it together. So keep an eye out for that video. That should hopefully be out before the beginning of February, but no promises at the moment. We'll see how it goes along, and we look forward to seeing you then.